If you visit the Monnenji Buddhist temple in Japan today, you are given strict instructions. Do not take photographs, and whatever you do not stare for too long at the main altar. These security measures exist for a single object. Encased behind glass and heavily guarded sits a century-old traditional Japanese doll. The monks who tend to this temple are burdened with a bizarre chore. They have to routinely give this inanimate porcelain object haircuts because its dark hair continually grows, exactly like a human's. But the biological anomalies are escalating. Recently, the caretakers noticed the doll's painted jaw is slowly cracking open on its own, revealing what appear to be human teeth growing inside. This object is the result of a deadly chain reaction, a haunting triggered over 100 years ago when a grieving family refused to follow the strict rules of the dead. In 1918, Japan was undergoing rapid modernization, but Eikichi Suzuki's family lived in harsh poverty. His father survived on manual labor, leaving Eikichi desperate to find a meaningful gift for his little sister, Kikuko, who was about to turn 3. Eikichi's mother worked grueling hours sewing garments just to keep food on the table. Buying a pristine, brand-new toy was a massive financial sacrifice for the family. Eikichi managed to scrape together the money for an eerily lifelike traditional doll. Kikuko was immediately obsessed, naming the doll Okiku and refusing to let it leave her sight. But shortly before her 4th birthday, Kikuko contracted severe malaria and died. Traditional Japanese custom dictated that a child's most beloved possessions should be burned alongside their body to help their soul pass on. The Suzuki family requested to burn the doll, but the local temple denied them permission. Forced to improvise, the grieving parents placed the unburned doll on a memorial shrine in their living room. Almost immediately, the family started hearing disembodied voices whispering in the halls. Then, they noticed the doll's pristine black hair was splitting at the ends, turning a shade of brown, and physically growing past its original cut. By keeping an object meant for the grave locked in the realm of the living, the family created a paranormal vacuum. They inadvertently trapped the child's energy in a passive, purgatorial state inside their own home. This flowchart illustrates a paranormal feedback loop, tracking human interference against the severity of a haunting. The family is at the baseline, a passive haunting. Watch what happens when Kikuka's mother takes scissors and physically cuts the doll's hair. The retaliation was immediate and aggressive. That night, the mother woke up screaming from a dead sleep to find the heavy porcelain doll sitting directly on her chest. The manifestations quickly infected the entire house. The doll's head began turning autonomously to track family members as they walked by. Its painted eyes would blink in the dark, and the distinct shadow of a small child started darting through the hallways. The act of cutting the hair crossed a dangerous threshold. It proved to the entity that the family was interacting with a living host. The mother's grief was now being weaponized against her. Driven to their breaking point, the family committed the ultimate breach of trust. Kikuko's father decided to forcefully sever the bond. He took the doll out to a nearby dirt field and buried it. The environment reacted violently. That night, a localized earthquake-like pounding physically shook the Suzuki home. It sounded like a child screaming in agony, desperately trying to be let back inside. When the father finally opened the front door, the unearthed doll was standing upright on the porch. Before he could react, it launched a physical attack. The doll's hair rapidly elongated, shooting upward and wrapping like muscular vines around the father's throat. He was being actively strangled, suffocating until Eikichi screamed his dead sister's name, instantly breaking the trance and dropping the doll to the floor. The haunting established its ultimate rule. Abandonment provokes lethal force. The entity required absolute, uninterrupted attachment, effectively holding the entire family hostage. The Suzuki family did not endure this for a few weeks or months. They were trapped in a cycle of terror for 20 straight years, with the paranormal activity violently spiking every year around Kikuko's birthday. Exhausted and broken, the family finally abandoned their home entirely. They surrendered the doll to the monks of the Monenji temple, hoping holy ground would succeed where they had failed. Over the last century, highly trained Buddhist monks have repeatedly attempted to cleanse the cursed object. Every attempt has failed. The doll cannot be destroyed. It can only be contained. We are left with a lingering question. Is the Okiku doll a vessel for a trapped, grieving 4-year-old soul? Or is it a dark, physical manifestation of a family's inability to let go? The evidence remains locked in Japan, quietly growing hair and waiting.